Kia ora koutou katoa. Hello Gemini, welcome to my YouTube channel and or my Facebook page if you have come across this video on Facebook. I also straight away want to say thank you to those of you who have subscribed to my channel, and also to those of you who are going to subscribe to my channel. So I do encourage you to subscribe and or connect with both platforms, because as you probably realize, there are different there is different content that is put on different platforms, social media platforms. So, and that's why I'm encouraging you to connect with both, because there will be some things that are coming up and coming. Well, same thing, I suppose, in the near future, but also like next year as well, that I've got planned, and the forthcoming years as well, but especially in the near future anyway, where I'm going to be, what I'm going to be doing, and some projects that are coming up with some friends as well. So they'll be posted on my Facebook page, so you can keep in contact with me, in contact with me, and different and things, see what's going on. The other thing is, I want to say thank you to those of you who have donated to my channel as well, so I really appreciate that too. The other thing is, I just want to remind everybody that these are general reads, so they may or may not resonate with you. If they do, wonderful. If they don't, then just take what does resonate and leave what does not. So often if it doesn't, it's most likely that it's more of a forecast, which is why it's not really resonating with you. And if you're not fully getting what's going on, and you're getting bits and pieces, and you're not entirely sure it's that what is coming up here is fully bringing it together for you, check out one of your other signs. Okay, so what I mean by that is, so for instance, this reading is for Gemini. If Gemini is in either one of these signs, your sun, moon, rising, I was going to say star sign, sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign. Okay, so you can check out one of those. So like I say, check out that website. If you don't know, and it has, like I say, that free calculator, and it will work it out for you. So have a wee gaze at that, read at that, and see what your other signs are that are connected to you. It'll make a lot of sense about a few things, and a lot of sense about a lot of things, in the way that you are in your being. Okay, it's not the end all or be all, but it certainly does help to give a little bit of information. It's like you can get a bigger or a broader understanding of sometimes why you are the way you are. Okay, and and different traits, and it's like, okay. So, and like I say, Spirit of just getting me to repeat that it's not the end all or be all. So everything that's written about a Gemini or whatever the other sign is, it's not that we are all of those traits and what have you. You will see there is a likeness, and you will see that most of them will fit with you, will work with you. Some of them you will probably reject and be in denial of, that you are like that, but it's okay. And some of them is just not true. So we don't always display all of the traits or habits, or whether they're negative or good, whatever it is. It's like there's a shadow side and a dark side. Shadow side and a dark side and a light side. God, everything's like a little bit weird at the moment. There's a shadow side and a light side to everything. So regardless of what star sign we are. So it's just like, it just helps make some things a little bit more sense at times. Okay, so anyway, today I'm going to be using my Starman Tarot deck, this amazing deck. I love it to bits. And also we have the Sacred Earth Oracle deck. There's something coming up through there probably, and possibly my trusty tarot deck here, and also the angel cards. So the angels have popped out, so popping out, wanting to have their say, so which is cool. Love that too. And you may be finding out that there's different energies, whether they be celestial, dimensional, or living beings that are around you, as well, like people may be popping in and out of your life at the moment that you haven't seen for a while. And maybe, yeah, it's kind of interesting what might come out up with these people for you, whether it's bringing something up, likely it will bring something up, or it has been bringing something up for you to review in yourself because of the way you responded and within yourself, not necessarily outwardly, but the way that you've, yeah, it's kind of interesting. So have a wee think about and have a wee, a peruse, something within yourself. I don't know why I said peruse, because it's more like reading something anyway. But and saying that, like, there's a reading, Spirit is just saying, like, reading, have a little bit of a read what's there, see what you can pick up with that. It's like doing a little reading for yourself. That's where they're going, but I still don't really know why they've used peruse, but for some of you it will be literally reading. That's why they're saying. Okay, so anyway, I've shuffled the Starman Tarot deck because, like I say, it's a new one, and I haven't fully, connected in the sense of with this deck, as I've connected with it, but it's like they have slightly different ways of meanings, or the different than some of the others that are reading. So it's like, I really love it. So it's bringing an intuitive balance, bringing a balance in energy and messages from everything, obviously, that I know, that I've picked up along the way. So there may be something like that's new, that's come around, that you may be like tinkering with. And so and whether it's a project like this, or whether it's a project within a new business, or a new way, a new business that you're coming into, or you're learning about something new about your business, or something new within work. Some of you are actually taking on maybe study to do with a career, or a business that you've been working, or a job that you've been working, and decided to do that as a career. So for some of you, it's like there's maybe you're doing a little bit more research and investigation within it, and see how it fits with you, and bringing applications and all that sort of thing, and just bringing things together. So there, for some of you, this is like been happening or coming for maybe the last year or 2 or 5, but some of you, I feel like this is like you've been like planning for all that long, and it's just the timing. And some of you have just like literally made this realization that actually it's like maybe in the background, but it's like, okay, I need to get my button together. It feels more right, like with a lot of yous, to do it, to begin that journey now, and or begin seriously sussing out how I can get started with this. Okay, so some of you, it may be like loans, doing proposals, or whatever it is. So anyway, it's just amazing. And some of you, it will be doing vision boards for yourself, for your, with your family, with yourself first of all, with your family, with your spouse, with friends, with a business, or whatever it is. There's something amazing brewing up there for you. Okay, and I say brewing up because when we do things like that, it puts it out there. The universe knows, our guides know that yes, we're serious. Ourselves know that yes, we're serious, and we're making more of a commitment, and we're putting our energy, and this is where I want to go. So it's that vibrational energy that you're putting out there with that. So anyway, I want to go to the 10 of Cups first, because this is the one that's dropped out first. As many of you will know, I don't like choose a card as such, they will drop out. So anyway, the 10 of Cups fell out first. So, and it's the 10 of Cups is, these 10s for me is about, not usually, but it is, that there is a transition that's happening, of moving into something new, a new way of thinking, a new way of being, a new way of understanding, or perception has changed in some way, and a new cycle of, it's like another, sometimes it's not a brand new cycle or a brand new learning. Sometimes it's a brand new learning, but it's not, there's the same, it could be about the same subject, or the same theme, or the same whatever is going on with you, but there's a deeper understanding, or another level of insight that you gain from it, that helps you to shift and move into the next one. Okay, of figuring out, okay, now what is it about that really irks me, or what is it about that that I find challenging? What is that really about? And then moving, and so you figure that out, and it's like something maybe still hanging around. It's like, okay, and then you might look at something else. But this one here is the Ten of Cups, okay? And for some reason, they're talking about experience. Not for some reason. Where am I going with that? You must be all over the place, because it's like my energy, and on saying that I'm a Gemini, and my energy has been like a little bit scattered, I suppose. It's not really the right word. It's scattered, but there's all over the place. It's in a way, but that's kind of like typical of me anyway. Not all Geminis, but it's a there's a sort of a nervousness energy about me sometimes when but it can feel a little bit scattered, but that's because for me, it's like I'm picking up on all sorts of things, and I just really need to ground myself. And I've got so many things going on in my energy or in my mind, and it's like it's bringing it all together. It's not all the time, but there is just that. And sometimes I can have it all together, but I still get this, and it's really strange. Sometimes I will get this like nervous sort of energy about me. It kind of makes other people nervous, but I'm not really nervous. It's interesting that happens. So there may be something that's going on with you where you're noticing things about yourself that you've probably not really noticed before. Or somebody said something to you, and it's maybe, I've never really noticed that about myself. So there's an epiphany in that way, and it's like, okay, so maybe this is why that happened, and blah, blah, blah. So there seems to be like a connection of dots. But going back to this card, or going back into the beginning of where I started with this, it's an experience. I experienced the joy of loving connection. So it's about this emotional security and sustenance of home, basically, and family and tribe and togetherness. Like there's something comes together more. So whatever it is that, like with that last discussion, what I was just talking about, that kōrero before, there's something that along those similar lines that you've had this epiphany about, it's just helped you to bring things together. And there seems to be like going into this transitional stage here where you may be feeling more of a loving connection that is like with emotional security and sustenance in a beautiful way, of course, that helps to grow the connections better emotionally, with relationships with people at home, with your home, your family, with your extended family, with people around you, and it's like everybody is coming together. And that's that sort of feeling with this card here. Okay, with the Ten of Cups. And you may be feeling like that now, that some things are more coming together. But it's more about you, about ourselves as such. But it's like about ourselves, but it's like you're seeing a different way. You're seeing it all come together. And the dynamics between everything. It's really quite beautiful. And you're not only just seeing it, but you're feeling it, okay? Because, most of us are quite empathic, and we're very, intuitive and this, and psychic Geminis. And as with we are all psychic on saying that, of course, and we all have this ability to be able to connect, but there is, there are some of us are more sensitive than others, and picking up things because and with certain things, and like with clairvoyance, some of us are more cleverer with clairvoyance, and some of us are more clever at like mathematics. Mathematics is just not my thing. That's why I am not an accountant. Okay, so it's kind of it's realizing not quite like that, but that sort of thing as well, actually, on saying that. So anyway, there seems to be a bringing together, a coming together of togetherness with people who you have relationships with in a beautiful way. Okay, and it's like there's no negativity. It's those who love you the most and support you the most at the end of the day, and vice versa, that there's this coming together. Okay, cool. So that seems to be the theme. That is either you're building towards that, you're actually in that right now, or you are realizing that, and you're looking back in the past, what you've done to create it and bring it together as well. So then we have the Prince of Pentacles, and the Prince of Pentacles talks about consistently creating their empire. And this is about like stability, action, problem solving. It's like bringing all those sorts of things into what it is you're wanting to create. Okay, that you're working towards creating is building this empire. Could be it could be the family, could be a business, whatever project. You could be building your house. You could be, saving to buy a home. It could be, that's what you're working towards. It could be, oh gosh, it's the relationships, could be children, whatever it is that, there's something that you're working towards, the home with the children, for your family, a business or career, career that you're building. And I feel like there's some job, some of you that have actually, you've been working a job for quite a while, and you realize that actually there's the business that I would like to do, and you've been working towards that and achieving that, and nearly there. So he brings through the Pentacles, because he's about career, finance, money. There's something that some of you have been working on and is building basically your finances, bringing them together. And this is you. This is us. This is the Ace of Swords, okay, for us. Air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and us Geminis, okay? So I feel like this is you, and it's the affirmation, or the theme that goes with it. It's like, I live through my highest values, and this is about the power of the mind to cut away what is irrelevant, in order to shape our destiny, or your destiny. Okay, there's a revelation, you could say, or there's through this part here, this 10 of Cups. It's like, it's okay. And there's also like, this is settled, that's settled, I'm settled. It's like you have this deeper inner knowing, or this deeper inner sense of who you are now and what it is that you want to do. So it's kind of, you've got this, more now, not exactly, but more now actually how it's going to pan out, or how it can pan out, but not really knowing. There's more of a trust and a belief in that. If I don't poke my nose in it, basically, if I follow my direction, my intuition, I'm more likely. So there's more of that sort of thing. I'm more likely to achieve it, and bringing in the balance of what I know, the knowledge, as well, and some practical things as well. It's finding that balance, okay? And then we have the after the Ace of Swords, which is, I live through my highest values, basically, is your what do they call it? I'm just thinking, I was going to say pendulum, but as your guide, in a way. So it's like, okay, there we go. I'm just thinking pendulum. Where did that come from? I'll figure it out in a minute as we go. So it's like, then we have the Prince of Wands, and he passionately sets out to conquer. So interesting, conquer is like, you hear kind of like, for some reason it's like overrun or conquer, but yeah, it could be like that. But it's like, this is about conquering, it's taking that bold leap of faith in a way, and thinking big and believing the impossible is possible. That's what they mean by that. So putting your energy in that, it's like everything is possible if you put your mind to it, if you put your energy and your frame of mind in the best, in a high vibrational way where you're going to achieve it, and then we have the 10 of Swords, which is you as well, or us as well. I must evolve. So that it's like there comes a time or a point where you just know that you have to grow. You have to do something in order to grow, or you have to change something in order to grow. It could be a change of direction, with work or business or career. It could be like, you're not necessarily giving up this job and business or work, but it may be something else on top of it, as well as it, where because what I'm hearing is like some of you, it's not necessarily giving up your day job straight away, but it's building something else, and then you're moving in towards it, into it. So there's that sort of energy that's coming through there with this with this ten of swords. So it's all it's like there's something, a part of you that falls away, basically. So I must evolve. It's like the person you thought you were is destroyed by a shock or an amazing revelation of some sort, and it may feel which brings about this feeling of being forced to change direction, or definitely make some sort of change in the way that you look at yourselves, and or the way that you do something, or it could be you just find something out about yourself that it's like, okay, I need to change that, or I need to do something, move in this direction, which is probably what you've been getting for a while, and some little hints in that, but you might have been not tiptoeing, but you might have been moving like a slug or tortoise towards it. But however, it is movement. It was movement, and it still is movement. And so don't beat yourself up about that. Don't knock it, because it is still movement. However, I feel like there's something about picking up the pace. Okay, it's like, and now you can, because it's like, now you know that you know that you know what you know. So anyhow, cool. And then we're moving on into the Five of Swords, okay, with the last three cards today. Cool. I said to Spirit, I only want 6, because I have my grandchildren with me this week. So it's like, they're gonna, I have a certain amount of time to get these videos out, create them. And anyway, their uncle has taken them out for me for a while, and I'm thinking, okay, I've got to get cracking, and I've got to do these before they come running through the door. Anyway, so, and this is kind of and I'm just thinking, why am I talking about that? But it's because there is something moving, and there's something about the change in the organization. It's knowing that, because normally I would make these videos obviously without interruption, well, apart from the dogs and the traffic and blah blah blah, but it's during the day, and obviously in the evening, nighttime, dinner, nighttime rest, blah blah blah. So, but now I've got to do it the opposite way around while I have them during the day. So it's like creating time and making time to taking time to making time to take time, and I'm hearing taking time to make time as well, for the things that matter, the most to you, or matter to you, and that and I know this is only going to be for 2 weeks, so it's interesting how and making adjustments in life. That's where they're going with that, so doesn't become an issue. Okay, so where there is a will, there is a way, and it goes to the Five of Swords. I must win at any cost. So they're just talking about where there is a will, there is a way. And okay, that's probably not a must win what I've just talked about, but it's like having that open mind is like that you can adjust. And sometimes if that's what I really want to do, I will, and I want to look after my grandchildren and help my daughter out and my son-in-law out, and plus they want to spend time with me. It's like, it's just adjusting stuff. Okay. So in some ways, that's what I'm willing to do, to have that that honor and that privilege to spend time with them, because I can. I made it happen. So, and I make it happen. And this is what they're talking about here in a similar way for something that may be going on with you. You can make it happen. And although it's not being fixated. So this one here, the Five of Swords, is I win at any cost. So going back to the business side of things, it's like, yes, it's having that frame of mind. Yes, I can do this. And you know why I can do this? Because I am in control of it, and I am the one who creates my destiny. And I know that if I put enough effort in there and the time and value energy in it, I can do this. So, and there's that side of it, and then it's like, but having that I must win at any cost is like, not so much an obsession is where they're going, but there is a fixation on an outcome, you know, on saying that it's not being in that space. So sometimes I know in the past I could do that. I could be like, it could have been like that, where I have a fixation on an outcome, which did used to leave behind a trail of wreckage and or upset sometimes. But it's like I used to be just, yeah, but I still am like that at times, especially if I need to be, but not leave a trail of wreckage and or upset, unless the people who don't, or there's something that, you know, people who don't, it's interesting, or it's like the people who love me will not see it that way, put it that way. It'll only seem like that to those people who don't resonate with it. Does that make sense? I think it does for some of you. Some of you, it'll be something totally different in a different way. But it's in some way. So there's the shadow side and the light side that's coming through here. But it's not about ignoring your heart for temporary gain or greed. Okay, so it's not about that. Well, this card is about that, but it's like they're giving a positive and a not so positive sort of outcome. So the reverse of that would be, you know, being mindful of that you're not fixated on an outcome, leaving behind a trail of wreckage and upsetting things or people, and not going into that space of, you know, or being mindful of going into that space of ignoring your heart and and not listening to it, because you know what I mean, for something else, okay, that doesn't serve you well for your highest good. Then we have the Prince of Cups. So the Prince of Cups speaks, I artfully negotiate for the best solution. He strives to win the best solutions for one and all, which is why these two cards have come out together in that. So there's one more card that's come out with that one, and that is the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords talks about, I allow myself to rest in stillness, realizing that, you know, that full and that newness of stillness, the fullness of stillness, rather, is like just, you know, is just so important to still ourselves so we can feel, listen, you know, to what it is that fills us within and without, throughout us. So we can understand and figure out, you know, what actually, you know, it's like reflecting in a way, but it's like going into meditation, as per se, going into that stillness space, and, you know, creating a sacred space, you know, that helps us, you know, that it goes, you know, because that will help us in replenishing and rejuvenating ourselves, you know, our body, our mind, our spirit, our soul, because our soul is probably, you know, as I know for me, is, you know, is working with me as well, and, you know, bringing up things for me to work through, so I can, you know, create that full inner stillness within me and without of me as well, all areas of me. So anyway, so it's about being patient in exploring the inner realms and dreams, and where we receive messages, basically. That's where that stillness comes. So like meditation and that sort of thing, and, you know, really taking notice of what your dreams are, putting out, like, often if I've had a quite a tired day or a tiring day, or a day where my head's just been like full of different things that have been coming to me, ideas and things, and different, depending on what's happening in my day, some different energies, and with different that I'm processing with, and, you know, things that I've heard, things I've said, things that I've done, things that I've not done, you know, all that sort of thing. It's kind of bringing it all together. Sometimes it can get a bit full. So often, you know, depending on what is going on, and I will meditate before I go to bed. Sometimes it's really just, or going to sleep, it's quiet. Sometimes my meditation is just quietening down the house or my space, tidying things up, which would take me to that thinking, feeling, being, processing stage, and unraveling and letting go of, what has happened during the day. So it's like, filing away this for tomorrow, or writing it out and getting it in my head and putting it on a piece of paper. So yeah, it's and just changing the vibration, stilling the energy, and for that place of peace to slumber. And sometimes I will write a little note to dream on a question that I will meditate with, and often I will dream and I will get my answers through my dream state. So with and another form of meditation, okay, or clairvoyance as well. Okay, anyway, I hope that helps you. So I've kind of given a little bit of a rundown from here to there, and what might be going on, and maybe a few tools to help you, to jog your memory, to remind you to tap into what you already know, to create that space for you to embrace the learnings and the teachings. Anyway, okay. So my spiritual team and the Zion energy and the amazing energy of Gemini, we will leave you now with love, peace, harmony and joy, excitement, adventure and prosperity and abundance. Okay, we'll see you next Monday. Lots of love. God bless you. We'll see you next Monday.